Hello,
Hey,
Hidden
Bruce.
Pearls Podcast
Hello.
fans. Hello. We are coming to you from
Hola.
Tachikawa, Japan. We got the boys in California sipping on some tea. Very excited to be back with the gang. But guys, I'm jealous. I'm having a little FOMO that I'm not with you. But either way, just want to send a massive hug, high five, congratulations to my not so little brother GK for number one, kicking ass on Rams week, getting that mind right. And number two,
Mind was right.
Mine was right. Setting a really, really special record, and we're going to get into that. So either way, boys, welcome to the Hidden Pearls Podcast. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm going to be home in a couple weeks.
You are home in a couple weeks.
I'm coming home just for your birthday, brother.
Oh, thanks, sis.
Oh.
Are you going to be at that game?
Yeah.
Cowboys?
Yeet.
Emma's coming home for the Cowboys game.
Coming home for the Cowboys game. Let's go.
It's going to be exciting.
All right. Anyway, guys, how are we feeling tonight? Let's do a little check-in, how we're feeling, and then I want to hear all about the Rams game because I wasn't there.
Like this is the emotional check-in. Like this is our mental health piece.
Yes.
So I do want to say just so one of the charities that we're sponsoring this week is Solly Thomas's D-line, and that which is committed to reduce defensive line, which is committed to reducing suicides. And this is September is Suicide Prevention Month. And so he is actually partnered with Dak Prescott, but we're going to go with Solly with his organization because we've supported them in the past. So shout out to those guys, though, for raising that awareness. And so this is our little mental health check-in. But just a reminder, you're not alone. If you need anything, ask for help because the world's a better place with you in it, I guarantee it. So anyway, aside from that, I'm doing really well. Super great day. Everything's good after a Rams victory down at SoFi. The crowd was unbelievable. The red was like a takeover again. It was at least 60-40, if not more. And of course,
felt like a lot.
Yeah, it was great. And they were cheering and they were loud and they were super great. So really fun trip down there. So grateful. And we'll get into that whole thing. Yes. And then we're kind of back up here. We get a few days with George and Claire. And that's been really great. So we had a great day today. And I got my bike here. Ooh. And I've gotten a couple rides in. And I knew it was going to be super hilly, but boy, is it hilly.
Yeah, so, how's the cardio?
Actually, today,
getting there.
I rocked it today.
Ooh.
I had almost 17 miles in, and it was a beautiful ride. I had about 2,000 foot of elevation though, which may not sound like a lot, but when you're on a bike, that's a lot. So anyway, so it was really good. So I'm good. Wow. We had a great meal and just got done, and so we're super great. And
Emma, what'd you do today?
What'd I do today?
You on a 17-mile bike ride with 2,000 feet of elevation change?
I didn't, but I walked to a breakfast place where a robot served me breakfast.
Oh,
okay.
Spin zone.
I know. I actually FaceTimed Dad while he was on his bike, and he just had like a whole on conversation with me. Like, didn't even skip a beat. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like asking him about a tax form, and he just like rattled off everything. And he's like, "What's up? How you doing?" Like, started a whole conversation. I was like, "Do you need to go?" He was just totally fine. So impressive, Father. Impressive.
That was good. That was toward the end too. I was at mile 15 when you called, so I was on the last 2 miles to climb up to your place. So anyways.
You're incredible. Wait, Emma, tell me more about this robot.
Well, okay, so it's called Jonathan.
Did you take a video?
I did take a video. It's called Jonathan's in
link in the bio.
Say that again.
Link will be in the show. Will be below the show.
Definitely, I will. I'll get that posted. I'll post it on my Instagram. So you go in. It's called Jonathan's. It's like a diner. Japan has a very interesting mix between like very American things and then like American things are kind of sprinkled all over the place. But this diner says Jonathan's in English, and then you walk in and everything's like touchscreen order. And then after you order, there's an actual little robot. It's a cat robot, but it's like 6 layers, and they stack the plates on, and it just like, and then it turns and it kind of like angles in so that you can have a better angle to like grab the food off. And then it sits there for a moment, like checks its weight caliber, and then it leaves. It like makes sure that you have all of your stuff.
Or to make sure you're taking the right thing, because they know how much everything weighs. That's crazy.
It's crazy. And it's funny because yesterday was Cody's game day. So we went there for...
How'd that go?
Medium. He did great. Didn't come out with a win, but he did great. The Bell Luna Dome is super sick. We're playing the Cebu Lions. I actually really love this dome, but it's super, super hot. The food here is amazing. I had sushi and curry at the baseball game.
I saw those clips.
Yeah.
You look very happy.
Oh, I saw that too. You did look happy.
It was very delicious, but it was funny because the amount of calories that Cody consumes on a game day for breakfast is pretty high, and so the only way to order, you can't just order like a side of scrambled eggs. You have to order like a breakfast plate. So it's scrambled eggs with a piece of ham, a sausage, and a salad. And Cody ordered like 6 of them plus 3 giant plates of what'd you order? French toast and then
He's
some
such a right
bread
tackle.
and had like 6 waters on the cup. And the lady comes over to us after we ordered it in and she like came over and like went through the whole menu like, "Are you sure you want this much food? Are you sure?" And I just kind of like patted Cody's belly. I was like, "See? Hi. Arigato
He said,
gozaimasu."
"That's funny." Yeah,
I know.
that boy puts down some food.
That boy puts down some food. I know.
That boy like that.
Long
Like that.
arms,
Like
long
that.
legs. Yeah, I'm thinking right tackle. Yeah,
Who knows?
we'll see how that goes. Okay.
All right, Georgie, how are you, my guy?
Yeah.
Hi. Let's see. Well, I didn't get breakfast from our robot today. I got breakfast from our lovely kitchen staff, chefs over at 49ers Performance Center. They're lovely. Actually, speaking of our chefs, one of our guys, Travis, is actually, we've been together for 7 years. I've known him my whole career.
Like he's been cooking for you
And
for 7 years?
yeah, I mean, I think he's been there longer than I
We've been
have,
together.
but we became good friends over our love for hockey and
Ooh.
WWE. And so that's what we early on, that's what we'd always talk about. And it was always fun. But Monday Night Raw is coming to San Jose
Oh.
October 2nd, a Monday. And I think me and Travis are going to go to that one. I think we're going to enjoy ourselves. I've already told him that, but it's going to be a fun one. So you might see us there, but you might also see me sneak in through a back door.
While
that's
we're
one thing that's going
on
in my
that,
life.
I think we need to cover, is The Rock actually coming back? Like full comeback?
Well, you want my opinion or what things I've seen on the internet?
Your opinion.
My opinion is that I think The Rock is going to make a couple splash appearances. And I think a dream of wrestling fans, including myself, is that what everyone wants to see is Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's what everybody wants to see. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. You better acknowledge Roman Reigns. Don't get me wrong. But
Acknowledge me.
yes, we're
Acknowledge me.
very aware. But so I think that's what people want to see. But when you throw Rock into the mix, I don't think anyone is going to be that upset to see The Rock wrestle Roman Reigns, if that is a possibility. But then I was reading the internet, and there's these theories going around that John Cena made he had this huge hiatus, hasn't been in wrestling for several months, and kind of been that's been kind of the ongoing thing every year for the last couple of years because he's doing movies and stuff like that. And with the writer's strike, the theory is that John Cena and The Rock are coming back to WWE because they have nothing else to do because they can't work on any other projects.
That makes sense.
So I know. I was like, oh, wow, that's actually a pretty good theory. And I didn't hate that. I think it's funny.
So maybe a temporary thing while the strike is going on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because they haven't been able to they can't do anything since a couple months.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, why not just dabble in the WWE for a little bit? I'm not sure if they're getting paid or not, but I mean, it's great. It's never bad to be a part of WWE.
Yep.
They do such a great job, and they have amazing fans.
They do. And it's great TV. I mean,
it is.
It's so entertaining. And if those guys are back, it's great for the fans.
I mean, did you see the pop that The Rock got when his music hit? It looked like
how fast the crowd reacted.
It looked like one of those late 90s, early 2000s WWE clips that you see when Stone Cold would bust on the scene and the whole stadium is just standing up and everybody in the stands is freaking out. You were kidding. They're all shaking their arms, game winning Super Bowl field goal. That's how it is every time that the glass breaks or The Rock comes on. That's how it used to be. And so to see him get the exact same response now, it's
pretty cool.
I mean, then you see the clip too. It had how many views did it have? I want to say 100 million, maybe more than that. I could be off.
So cool.
It was an insane amount. The amount of views that it totaled in 48 hours or something like that. I saw this crazy stat on it. It was just holy cow. They make splashes. People love them. They're fantastic for TV.
Yeah.
And it was cool because that's the one with McAfee, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, his face in the background was so good.
I know, and then they all tie it in because then he's on game day
Yeah.
with McAfee again.
So they're on McAfee's.
It's like the whole thing is all.
They were on his show.
Yep.
McAfee's ESPN show on Friday.
Yep.
Friday night they go to Friday Night SmackDown, and then they're on game day on Saturday
together. Yep.
Together, and I just I texted Pat and I just said, "Your life is so sick." Because imagine this: he got I think the last, or one of the last stunners ever from Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring in Dallas. Stone Cold stunnered him. He had to chug a beer with him and then also get stunnered by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he sold the shit out of it, got the beer coming out of the mouth, planted perfectly on his back. Like he sold the hell out of it. Like he's been training for it for his entire life.
So good.
And then
probably has been.
He gets to get in the ring with the people's champ, right? The Rock, and gets to do the move. Like gets to, he gets to be in there, gets to witness it. He gets to do it himself.
Right.
Like, man, Pat, doing it right, dude.
Yeah. And then they had a little love fest on the game day show, and it's all.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Pat's living such an awesome life.
High five to Pat. High five to Pat.
And now they're flying.
No free shout outs, so Pat. No free shout outs.
Now they're flying to Indiana for the Notre Dame game. So anyway, he was posting pictures about that when him and his buddy, actually a buddy who has passed on. So interesting story there, but we're all together there. So, anyway, so lots of theory there. Emma, any other WWE questions? You're firing away here, girl. I love
any other WWE questions?
Well, you asked me how my day was going.
Yeah, I was going to circle back.
Chef.
Oh yeah, we got all fun. Yeah. Anything else about the day?
Let's see. So, I went in today. I had breakfast and not by robot. That's where that point came from. Got some good rehab ins, good work. We installed first down, second. So we installed first and second down pass plays. Then we installed third down and short yardage pass plays, goal line pass plays. And then we went in and did first and second down runs and short yardage runs, which usually occurs over the course of a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Yeah.
So we did all that today.
And just a reminder, folks, the game this week is on Thursday. So they don't have the normal extra Thursday, Friday, Saturday leading up to a Sunday game. So in a short week, they basically do 2 days on a Tuesday.
Tuesday is Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
And then Wednesday is Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
And then Saturday night, then Wednesday night is your Saturday night meetings. Go to bed, you wake up, it's game day. Then we have a walkthrough on Thursdays. It's the only time we ever do a walkthrough in the mornings before games, Thursday mornings.
Yeah, just because they've had such a short week. So everything's very, very condensed.
It's a Tuesday. It's Tuesday for you guys, right?
It is Tuesday for me.
Oh, right. It's Wednesday
but it's
here.
It's a Wednesday, Thursday.
It's technically tonight is Thursday night for me.
Yeah,
I'm waking up tomorrow, and tomorrow's my Friday.
Yeah.
And Saturday by noon.
Any sneaks on
it's really funny. So like our team meeting this morning because it's awesome. Kyle lets us sleep in. Like our first thing doesn't start till 10 a.m., which is like because sleep's all that really matters when you're doing a Thursday night game. You just got to sleep as much as possible. So I'm about to go as soon as this is over.
Yep.
But so you sleep in, and at the team meeting, Kyle like breaks the schedule and he goes, "So we have this team meeting right now, which would typically be let's just say a 9 a.m. meeting on Wednesday. But by the time you get to 12:30 today, it'll actually be Thursday in our football schedule
for game week.
And then we're going to go out and walk through, which is your Wednesday walkthrough. But then we're going to come back. Then we're going to go back inside and come back out we're going to watch it like it's a Wednesday practice. Go back outside for practice for Thursday, which is all of our third downs. And you're going to go home studying. When you come back in tomorrow, we're going to have our Friday install, and then we're going to have our Saturday walkthrough. See you at the hotel." It's like, yes.
Just for context, so you got to the stadium at what time today, and like how long did that day take?
I think I pulled in around 9. Get there an hour early. I mean, if you're not if you're 100% healthy and you don't need anything taken care of, or like you don't need to do any body maintenance or anything like that, I think I would sleep in until like 8:30. But like I usually wake up nice hour and a half, 2 hours before I need to be there, just so I can do stuff in the morning and then also go to work. But wow, yeah, I can't imagine. When's the last time you slept past 8:30? Anyways, telling you about my schedule. I got there and I left at like 6:30. I got home at 7:00 today.
That's pretty good.
That's not terrible.
That's not bad. Wednesdays are usually the longest days, anyways, because those days are usually like
On a regular week, you mean?
Regular Wednesdays, like 7 a.m. until
With a Sunday game, yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
5:30.
But you can't do all that stuff because you don't have the days, and so you got to cut some stuff out and just condense. And
You cut out a couple meetings.
Yep.
You cut out a ton of practice.
Yep. So it just shortened up. So you get the highlights in, and everybody's got to roll on less preparation and run out there on Thursday and see what happens.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. Okay. Shall we talk football?
I'm ready.
I mean, we kind of were.
I'm also curious, George, what kind of tea are you drinking tonight? What's your wind down tea?
I don't know. Claire made it for me. Cozy chamomile.
Oh, what a lovely wife. Actually, one of our Ask George questions today is about Claire. So, what a loving lady.
Like it.
Oh, I might have to pass on that one.
All right, let's talk football.
Well, anyway, so we're all down. So you enjoyed the SoFi invasion again. So the Niner fans, like as we said, were great. Super great environment, and you guys came out and took care of business. Ended up winning 30-23. What's 30-20? And I don't know if McVay's got something on the points because it was a 7.5 point spread. You guys covered until that last second field goal, which didn't make any difference, and then now the Rams covered. So a lot of folks lost some dough on that one, but that's another question. But anyway,
pretty funny, right?
I don't know. It just seemed like what's the point?
Give your kicker,
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, give him an opportunity, put a little pressure on him.
Yeah, practice.
Yeah, I mean that I get that. Looks better on the. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, but you guys came out, took the opening kickoff. They won the toss because we've been talking about coin tosses.
Hey.
Who called the flip?
Fred.
Fred called the flip. He called heads, I think.
No, he always calls tails.
Oh, he always calls tails.
Fred's 0 for 2 right now.
Ooh, tough. Okay. And then
it's okay. We'll be back.
So they deferred. You guys took the ball and took the opening drive, and bam, opened up really strong. So that was
we did.
Yeah,
it was a fun opening drive. We made some fun plays. Yeah, I mean, let's see. It wasn't the greatest game the 49ers offense has ever played. No. But I will say that the Rams did pretty much what we expected them to do, and was come out there and play really, really hard. Give us some looks that were a little bit different. But they did it, they did a really good job. It was still a really good game, and they had an opportunity probably to kind of lap us, or we scored at the end of half, which was awesome.
that was huge.
It's a huge 2-minute drive by the boys.
Yep.
But they had the ball coming out, and our defense got them to stop. I think we stalled out too, but then we got an interception right after that, and then the defense gave us enough opportunities to figure our stuff out, and we stepped on our foot a couple times, which was a little frustrating for all of us because we have very high expectations of our offense. But one thing I've learned over the course of my career is that the first 3 to 4 games are teams trying to figure out what their identity is and the things that they're going to be best at. And I'm not saying what we're put on tape right now is what we're going to look like the entire season, but there's parts of it that you're figuring out. You're going to start seeing more consistencies and stuff like that. And that's where the team kind of finds its identity and builds off of that. So that's what the first 4 weeks are usually like, just figuring that out. Every season you have the same guys over and over again. You're still trying to figure that out, just because how teams change and stuff like that. So I think we took a step in the right direction. I also think it was good for there to be, a certain, I don't want to say pressure, but to have to get that 2-minute drive so we don't get lapped going into the third quarter. That was very good for our team to go through, because you don't want to coast. You don't want games to be easy. You want games to be difficult, because that's how you find out how good you are, and that's how you make the hardest plays. So you learn from that.
What do you think was the hardest play of the game?
Well, I'll tell you, sister. We ran let's see, would have been buff left, Fox, 36 counter, alert Oscar. 36 counter is a gap scheme play. We're the right guy, so I think that we were buff left, so I'm on the left off the ball. I think the Z is on the ball right next to me, and Juice is on the outside, so it looks like a little bunch. At Fox means F's going across. Fox is going to cross over. And now we've kind of built a 2x2 formation with Purdy under center, Christian in the backfield. We're running 36 counter, which is gap scheme. Everyone's blocking down. Left guard is pulling to the right to kick out, while Juice and the right tackle are kind of teamwork blocking. C-Train, the defensive tackle, I don't know if he was, I think he's probably a 4 technique right over the tackle. And they took him to the backside backer. The left guard is pulling to kick out the defensive end or the outside linebacker that's outside of Juice on the right side. And then I'm pulling from the left side outside of Trent, pulling, and I'm going to go in between Spence, who's the left guard, and Juice, who's blocking C-Train up. And I'm going to kick out the frontside linebacker or wash him out or log him out or block him. Well, when I turn the corner, and he sees me, and he's right there in the gap, and I go to lower my shoulder, he gets super low and kind of puts his shoulder pads like just into my stomach, kind of gets me off my feet. Well, here comes Christian McCaffrey running Mach fucking 9, excuse my language, rucks me, I get hit, and then someone hits him from the side, so he gets fallen on. I fall straight down onto my face, completely flat, like I'm planking right here, like it's 2009. I'm planking.
Face down.
And
Face down.
Face down.
Got
I'm
it.
face down into the dirt, into the turf. Grass, not turf. And I'm sitting there face down, and body after body after body after body is on top of me. And I'm going to find a picture of this because I watched on tape, and there are 12 grown men on top of
Grown
me.
men.
And I'm at the bottom of the pile. And like, sometimes I get, I'm not a huge fan of airplanes. I'm mildly claustrophobic. I don't know if that's possible, but like, I don't really like small spaces. It's just not really for me. Get a little sweaty. Not a huge fan. And I I go on a tangent, but yeah, anyways. So I'm at the bottom of this pile and no one's moving and it gets heavier and heavier. I'm just like, all right, this can be over now. Like, can we get, because I can't move at all. Like on my face, thank God I have a face mask. Otherwise, I'd be eating
Right.
turf. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, come on, please get off of me. And it took like, it felt like a while. Probably
Couple
like 8
minutes.
to 10 seconds. I would say it felt like it was like 30 seconds. It was probably like 10.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and people finally started to move. And when the flaspers got off me, I was just like,
Did you like wiggle away really quick?
I laid there on the ground for like 5 seconds. I was like, that was horrible. Don't ever want to do that again. It was terrible.
It's a lot of large men.
Oh my.
It's a lot of large men.
There's a lot of people.
Collectively, that's like, it could be a couple thousand pounds.
Yeah, but it was funny because Christian, like, I don't know, it might have been after the game. He was like, hey man, that dog pile, like, I was right there with you. And I was like, yeah, except for you were on top of me. And he was like, yeah, but Vic's feeling better. I was right next to you. I was like, yeah, it fucking sucked. Oh, excuse my language and pros listeners.
No, it's all good.
Football.
But nature of football, but nobody hurt, a little bit exhausted and a little bit of pressure. So that's good.
Yeah.
But, well, let's, there were a couple, overall, it wasn't perfect. You guys are still getting your identity, but there were some really good things. CMC played again really well. I think he had 116 yards. Total rushing, you guys had 159 yards. So that was working for you guys. He had that beautiful run, and so that was really good. So he was letting it loose, and overall Brock played really well. They have him down for 1 sack, but it was kind of a scramble, and he was tackled right at the line of scrimmage, so no yards lost on that. So it was kind of one of those. But
still give the guy his sack. It's okay.
Yeah, but protection was really good. He was generally getting the ball out pretty quick.
Yeah,
and doing a good job, and run game was pretty solid. So
I think when you get through a game, you put up 30 points and you have 0 turnovers.
Yep.
Every game can be better. There's not a perfect game out there. Football's not a perfect sport. You always get better for something. Don't get me wrong, but you're still scoring. You're not turning the ball over. That's good. Now we want to be better. Like hey, shout out Jake Moody too for that nice 57 yarder.
Oh yeah,
Very
was
cool.
huge.
Huge.
But like we always want to score when we get down to the red zone. And penalties early in drives, that's killer, but we're gonna get better. We have a good team, great coaches, and guys that want to work.
Yeah. So one other thing happened though during the Rams game, George, that we wanted to chat about.
Dun,
Yes.
So some of you may have seen this. So George became in that game. So you had, I think, 3 catches for 30 yards. Was that right? This one? I can't remember.
Sure.
Something like that. But on one of those catches, you became the fastest Niner in franchise history to have 400 receptions. And the previous record holder for that was the only Hall of Famer Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
And so anytime you're beating Jerry Rice in the record books with the Niners, that's a pretty big deal. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And it's kind of interesting because like you're in and out of the game plan. So you know what I mean? It's been like when I heard that, I was honestly kind of surprised. Like how would you get ahead of old Jerry? But anyway, I know everything happens in the career and I don't know his career all that well. But anyway, so I want to say congratulations, and we're all super proud of you. And it's a really cool milestone. I mean, you're in your 7th season, played a lot of ball. What'd you have, 57 snaps? I don't know.
Just
Put a lot of yep. Okay. Put a lot of time in and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, just really cool to just recognize that as another milestone in your career, and congratulations on that. How did you know it during the game? It was kind of announced or not?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I learned that on Twitter or Instagram. I don't know, somebody tagged me in it. But no, it's super cool. Kind of thinking about it for the first time, it just made me think about kind of my whole career, everything that I've done, starting as a rookie. Made me think about quarterbacks that I've played with, guys who've thrown me the ball that were a part of that. And then it made me think about certain games, like whether it was my rookie year, 2018, 2019, 2020. I mean, like any of the years, just kind of makes you reminisce and think about some of those games. And,
right.
I'm not going to judge my career based off of catches. It's an awesome, it's a fun stat. Yes. Like you said, beating Jerry Rice in anything has to be good.
Crazy.
Whether it's catches, yards, touchdowns, or even drops. That means you're getting thrown the ball a lot.
For sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, that's awesome. But maybe think about all these games, and whether there's a game like, I know I had 18 catches in a game, and then I've had games, I don't know if I've had too many 0 catch games, but like one of my favorite games of my career was 2019. We played the Ravens. I had 1 catch, but it was one of my favorite run blocking games of my career. And we didn't even win the game, but it was just such a fun game for me to go back and look at. And I thought about that one. It's just like how fun the game of football is, and how lucky I am to get the opportunity to go out there and play football, but also represent the fantastic franchise that is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And
it's pretty cool.
Just also too, I want to, and I'm just being a dad here, so just let me be a dad. But I just also want to just applaud just the longevity, because I think back, you had the foot injury, that took you out 7 or 8 games, and there's been a couple things here and there, but overall, if you look at total plays, total plays over the 7 years, you have to have one of the highest next to O linemen of anybody in the franchise. You know what I mean? Over that same time frame, maybe in the NFL. So, because you're always somewhere between 50 and 60 plays typically, and you've had plenty over 60 in some of those other games. So, anyway, just the fact that you've been around that long. So, knock on wood for that. How great that has been. How hard you work, and we've talked on and off about recovery and the importance of your body and taking care of it. And you do a great job with that. And we'll swing back into some of those things later, but. Just the fact that you've been around this long and that you're on the field that much and have had the opportunity is really just a testament to that work ethic. And again, I guess kudos on you and telling you I love you, and I'm proud of you for that, because it's a pretty cool deal. So anyway, is that okay? I had a moment. Okay, as long as I have my moment. George has 3 other franchise records, so I was just going to throw them out there. Just
Thanks,
okay, for fun. All right, most receiving yards in a game by a tight end.
George Kittle,
210 yards. Anybody remember what that game is?
Was it versus the Rams?
And this same stat is an NFL record as well.
Denver.
Yeah. So George, he had all 210 yards in the first half against Denver.
I did.
Oh, right.
Which that is still an NFL record. You have the most yards in a half.
Yep. Don't swipe.
I'm not.
I see what you're doing.
But no, I'm not. Okay. Then second, most receptions in a season by a tight end. 88.
George
so that's
Kittle.
pretty cool. And the first tight end to surpass 1,000 receiving yards.
George Kittle?
For the Niners. Yep.
Yeet.
So anyway, those are franchise records. So anyway, just,
thank you guys.
Had a chance to play along, and you've been playing at a high level. And again, we're really proud of you. And sorry, folks, just it is what it is. So, but anyway, all right,
awesome.
Very cool. So, all right, anything else about Rams? I thought D played much better in the second half. I won't get into my analysis on it, but we were playing a really soft zone. And
you're getting into your
I am, but dang, man, and they were just like giving Stafford all that room. And so anyway, second half, we started to bring some pressure, rolled up and played tighter coverage on him, and it really made a difference. And in the first half, at least I was listening to the radio, he was averaging his throws in the first half were 1.2 seconds, and you just don't get pressure in that.
That's pretty impressive.
That was really impressive, but that was just kind of reflection of kind of we were playing that kind of protective zone and all that. So anyway, I know smarter people than I understand why they were doing that, but it was pretty refreshing when they started getting Fred in A gap and doing all that crazy shit with the twist, and they started getting after him.
I called Fred sack too, by the way. I'll have that proof at some point.
Yeah. So anyway,
guys, what do you want? You want a Fred Warner sack or? Okay, we'll give the people what they want. And then he sacked it. I was like, well, if you don't block Fred Warner in the A gap, he's probably going to get a sack.
He's good at
he's
it.
Good. He's good at that.
Pretty good.
Really good at it. Yeah, he can chase down a quarterback. So anyway, I was really, the way they came on, and I'm going to shout out Nick Bosa too. Nick didn't have a sack, but his play in the run game, and he brought pressure though. Like he had 2 or 3 hits.
He led the team in pressures.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 hits on Stafford, and then the 4th and 1 play at the end when they went for it.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, it was, that one where they all blocked down and they tried to kick out on the DE. Yeah. And he saw the trap come and totally underplayed the dude, jumped back inside into that kind of BC gap that was vacated, got an arm on it, held him for the linebacker. Anyway, turnover on downs. I mean, huge play in the game.
I have to go back and watch that now.
It was really super well done. Anyway, and just Nick has such a great kind of intuition about that.
Great quads.
Eric Armstead. I mean, just a guy that, once they really got going. So again, they're still kind of figuring their stuff out. So anyway, shout out to them too. So, all right, very cool. All right. Anything else on the Rams you want
to? No, because it's Tuesday and I have a game in 2 days.
Right.
Less than 2 days.
So
it's Thursday Night Football week.
Thursday Night Football week. So we got to get
I need a Thursday Night Football hat. Do you think Amazon does that?
I'm sure they do. Amazon? Knock, knock. Actually,
I have a question. I have 2 things that I want to say. Number one is for those international fans like me, we have DirecTV and we have NFL Red Zone and some YouTube subscription, and nothing was working. The way that you can watch it, there's an app called DAZN, DAZN, and that was the easiest way. So if there's any international fans who can't get the Niners games, download that app because it was really great.
No free shout outs though.
I know, but if I was a fan, I would want to watch it.
You have to say that. You have to say that while you're shouting out. That's the joke.
Anyway,
there you go. That's the joke.
Other thing is, can we take a moment for your Johnny Bravo shirt? I felt like you just ordered that. You were like calling, you were FaceTiming me and Cody, and we were talking about shirts, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere. It was so good.
It was a good shirt. I have a couple. Shirt? I have some good shirts ready.
I saw that and I was like, I used to watch that all the time. It was so much fun. It's such a great show.
So funny. Yeah. Cartoons used to be so much funnier than what they are today.
Johnny Bravo with the big hair and like all that
stuff. The biceps.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, so funny.
Just kind of walking around being cool. So
trying his best to be.
Trying his best, yeah, but life kind of caught up.
He thought he was a lot cooler than he was.
That's what made it funny.
Yeah, that's what was so funny.
He kept doing stuff.
Does anybody have a bigger ego than Johnny Bravo?
Like in real life or in cartoons?
Oh, let's go both.
Ooh. I don't know. My mind went...
I don't know if Johnny Bravo ever got humbled. Like all the times that he would get punched or beaten up by chicks that he was hitting on or disrespected, he always came out of it like, I'm Johnny Bravo.
Nice.
It didn't hinder him or humble him once.
No, it never dented the armor.
Is there anyone else like that?
Let's see. Non-superhero maybe, because superheroes they can have that kind of thing. So I don't know in the cartoon world.
The only thing I'm thinking is I just watched the Arnold. He was humbled. He was humbled. I don't mean this in like a not humbling way, but I just watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary and like the thing on Netflix, and that man, it was really good. It was really good. Fascinating.
Okay. What are you gonna say though?
What about it? That man.
Just it's like while he's like sitting there smoking a cigar while he's telling this story like of his life and reflecting. And he's like painting the picture and like starts to kind of embody, like channel some of that like young Arnold energy. And it's awesome. Like you can see it like coming out of him. He's like emanating, like just oozing all of this like young swagger. And he's like just tells all these like crazy stories. And then, but really it's all about like manifestation. But he was like 15 when he was doing all that stuff. It was crazy. Right. So recommend it. It's a 3-part series. It's really interesting.
I'm going to watch it.
He changed bodybuilding and weightlifting and the whole thing, with that persona, as the greatest big man to ever hit the stage, and people could argue about that, but just the way he did it and how he trained and all that kind of stuff.
But and that part was
Yeah.
cool. But then his transition into movies and like becoming the Terminator, I think that was
Yep.
my favorite. I don't. The first and second parts are like really really good, but the transition into like entertainment was really fascinating. So
Yep.
I don't know. I guess my mind went to like young Arnold as far as Johnny Bravo,
Let's try
or
to get
John
Arnold as a
Cena.
guest. Anybody know Arnold that's listener?
Yeah, if anybody's got any connections,
Yeah,
with
we'd love to have Arnold on the show.
Mm.
Huge Arnold fans.
I would be
Hey, if we do
back.
Arnold, then we can circle back and get Chris Pratt on maybe a little Jurassic Park guy.
Okay.
Chris Pratt, Chris Pine.
And
I'm a
if
huge Chris
That would be
Pine guy, too.
great. Hey, if
And
anybody's on strike right now and wants to do an interview, we'd love to have you.
if you guys are a little slow,
You got
guys are
some
bored.
space?
yeah. I mean,
Come talk football with us.
Can we get the People's Rock on?
The People's Rock?
People's elbow.
People's Champ.
People's Champ. So there you go.
No, it was fun though. At the Rams game, Jeremy Renner was there. Hawkeye from the Marvel series.
Oh yeah.
Saw that.
Was it Mayor of Kingstown is his show. Season 2 is coming out soon, I'm pretty sure, or it's out. But he was at the game, and he's a huge Niners fan.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So he was at the game, and I think he's going to come to one of our home games, and that would be super, super cool. But we should have him on too.
Okay.
Bang bang.
Invites are out.
Invitations.
All my info.
have
Somebody
been
make the
sent.
connection.
All my info's online, so if somebody can help us
DM
out, that'd be great.
George. DM George.
Okay. Let's talk just a little bit about Giants. So I know you're still in the midst, but
New York Football Giants.
anyway, so they had an unbelievable game. I watched the extended replay.
Did you?
Yeah, and really interesting game. They got way down and then came back and it went in 31-28 in the last seconds of that game. But they just second half was a completely different team, and Cardinals kind of fell apart, and they just Darren Waller had quite the game, and they played really well. So they just moved up and down and scored when they needed to and did all that kind of stuff. So really credit to them about not, because after what happened to Dallas, and then there they were with a 17-point deficit and kind of came back in the second half and fought through. So we'll see what we get.
In 6 quarters, they were down 60-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's tough.
That's
It's hard as an offense and as a team.
You kind of start doubting yourself a little bit.
You're kind of like,
oh shit, we do suck.
But you know what they did? You can also you could see the change in tempo from the first half to the second half.
Yeah.
You got to credit that a lot to that offense, and the defense started making plays, and then but you know that boy Danny Dimes.
Yep.
He can play a little bit.
Yep.
He play a lot of it. Obviously, that's why he has a massive contract. But he does a lot of really really good stuff with his legs, and he is significantly faster than what anyone would give him credit for.
He got the corner on people. Like guys come up and they think they're going to tackle, and he just kind of and
then a little wiggle and just runs right around them.
They scored in their first 3 possessions coming out.
Yeah, they did.
Second half, and they took the opening kick, went down and 75-yard drive for that first TD, and just kind of everything started to fall together for him and
start clicking.
And
they had like one bad drive that the Cardinals had an opportunity, and then the Cardinals didn't capitalize, and it was over from there.
Yeah. So anyway, so we know we're going to get their best shot, so they're feeling better about themselves. They're coming across coast to see us, so
they're actually in Arizona still.
Yeah, I was going to say, would they stay?
I bet they are. Yeah, probably didn't go back. Yeah,
they stay on the West Coast.
Yep. So
smart move, you guys.
Anyway, so they'll be gritty and come out and be throwing the ball around. So everybody's going to have to play well. And any players or anything you want to mention about them, or we're just
their nose 97 is a. I'm like 99.9% sure he's all pro. I know, and he is all pro. I know he has Pro Bowls, but I think he got all pro snubbed one year. So I think this past year he got it finally at least once. I hope I'm not misspeaking, dude. You're a really good football player. But he's fantastic. Dexter Lawrence, thank you. Jeez Louise. Okay. I'm just such a number guy. I just see numbers.
Yep.
What number is he?
97. He's phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
And
this is the guy.
With their 5 down guys, he just gets a lot of one-on-ones with the center. And then when you go down to double him, you're putting your guards alone on these guards and tackles alone, whether it's one or the other.
Yeah.
On these very other talented D linemen. So they have a very, very, very good front 5.
So they're more of a 3-4 team.
They are a 3-4 team, and their outside linebackers are athletic. They actually have a safety from Iowa. Interesting.
I saw
Dane Belton. I think that is it. I don't know if I've ever met Dane.
Okay.
I think he's but hey, Dane, I'll see you there.
So that's pretty cool. So, okay. Well, we're expecting a great defensive battle with them. And offensively, we know they can move the ball. They got some really good receivers, and quarterback is playing out of his mind. And that is one thing that at times is really we've struggled with is containing those scrambling quarterbacks. And he is one of the top in the league, probably right up there with old Patrick. Maybe not quite as nifty, but he's pretty good. He's a lot faster than you think. And they do that backside QB run option, where they fake it and he reads
They
the
did.
backside end. Scored a touch, like almost a 20-yard touchdown on that, and a couple other first downs.
When you have a guy like that can move like that, that can outrun people, and he's like he can move, he can take hits, he does a good job at that, and it just adds a whole new element to the game.
Yeah, it's like defense is built on gap structures, and so when you're 11-11, there's one gap that you can't ever fill. And when it's a QB run game, that's the one gap that's really hard to get to because you're filling all the other gaps. And so
the QB is very good at reading that.
Yep.
The defensive end ever doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Well, I mean, like you go back to last year when we played the Falcons, we did not play very well. I remember Fred said it was like one of his least favorite, like, I don't know, one of the games, one of not his best games, or what he remembered as a defense was that Falcons game. And they did that. And it was very difficult because if you call a certain, like, let's just say the end's going to crash, take the running back, then the linebacker has to fill over the side. And then they have calls that go the exact opposite of that, where the linebacker goes and takes the running back while the end surfs or something like that. And they got it wrong a couple of times and just led to these huge gains.
Right.
You don't want your safeties and corners to be making all the tackles.
That's not good.
No.
Not good. So that's not how we're built. So anyway, we hope that's not the deal. So
it's not.
Anyway,
we're excited. Thursday Night Football opening in Levi's Stadium in front of the Bay Area faithful.
Do we know who's pulling the foghorn?
No, I've never once known that.
Never known
What
that.
a question.
Yeah, I will say this, though. For the first time in the history of the NFC, there were 7 teams that are now 2-0. It's the first time they've ever had 7 teams in the NFC all 2-0. So it's a lot of 2-0s. So it's pretty interesting stuff right now.
All right, well, let's get on to questions for George.
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
What do you got?
I have things I need to do.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Okay, wait. Right before that, just want to, George, you looked great in Hockey the Hurkey, or Herky the Hawkeye. Hockey the Hurkey.
Hawkeye the Herky.
You looked great. How was it? I wasn't wearing a mascot head. It was really funny seeing it with like a normal body.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's the same ceramic helmet that Herky used to wear when Bruce would take me to games when I was a kid, and they'd carry him out. Like that's like when I got to say it's from like 2002. It has to be
at least.
And I think we have that in the mail now, going back to them, or I think it's going back right after this game. But shout out Tyler Barnes, Iowa Football found that for me, and shout out, I'm pretty sure it came from the Iowa cheerleaders. So thank you so much. We've taken care of it, and we're very, very thankful that it made its way to the Bay and onto Brock Purdy's head.
That was
but
hilarious.
It definitely looked better on me. I will say that.
Yeah.
Herky's a tall guy.
You could just tell by the body language, Brock really was not. He wasn't supporting the Herky very well.
I will say this, just to see his mild annoyance about having to wear it.
It was great when he got on this for the interviews. He goes, "Don't lose a bet with George Kittle."
Whoops. At least they're all playful. Like, I would have gladly done the same thing. The reason we did that is because last year, that was the bet. He was like, "I bet you," because I was like, "You have to wear a T-shirt or a jersey I bring you." And he was like, "Done. How about what if I get the mascot? You have to wear it for yours." And I was like, "For sure, dude. Do it." Iowa State won. And I'm like,
But
they never sent it to him. He couldn't get it in time. I gave him he was like, "It can't be this week." And I was like, "Okay, I'll give you another 2 weeks." Because this isn't like a thing like if you get it 4 months later, I'm going to put it on. Like, come on. Like,
right.
there's
a time limit, statute of limitations.
Like, this isn't I'm not going to put on a cyclone thing in December. I'm just not doing it. So then I gave him like 2 extra weeks, and it never showed up. And I was like, "That's just really tough for you." So this year I was like, same bet, except I'm going to get Herky. And he was like, "Fine." And lo and behold, University of
Iowa showed up. Yep, there we go. Hawkeyes, baby.
Thank you.
Good job, Hawks. So, okay, and what do you got for the question?
Let's do some Ask George questions. All right, so we have Geraldine wants to know, how do you control the pain when you get hit when you're tackled?
You just breathe. This is what it is. Like, are you really going to come out of the football game? Come on. It does, like, you get hit, You just get right back up. You're fine. It'll hurt later. You're okay.
Even if you're not fine.
You'll be fine.
Is it more like
Like-
adrenaline, you feel like?
I mean, like, there's not a lot of adrenaline when there's 3,000 pounds of grown men laying on top of me and I'm at the bottom of a dog pile. Like,
I know, but she's kind of talking about you.
yeah, I know.
You
Like,
catch the ball.
catch
and
the ball over the middle,
go-
you get smoked.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're like, oh, that was awesome. Football.
I love
And you just
football.
kinda stretch it out, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm okay. Let's keep going. Why not?
I'm in the NFL. Let's go.
Yeah, I play football. Let's just keep it going.
Well, you know what? I appreciate you saying it that, but here's what I don't think people do appreciate is like if you haven't played the game or been around the game in a real kind of intimate kind of way, I don't think people appreciate how much pain players are in on a week and day-to-day basis. So, and you don't have to say anything about that, but like, I mean, there were guys coming out and like played the whole game. And I'm thinking particularly about a couple of linemen I talked to after the game when we were at the Rams, 9-year-old linemen, and man, weren't smiling, were hobbling. They look like old men. And
You're tired.
I go, dude, you good? And he goes,
You know what?
I'm in so much pain.
Yeah.
And it's painful because up front, but even everybody, you are in the trenches with other 300-pound men hitting each other 60 to 70 times.
You know what else it is that turf is like cement.
Right.
And so this just goes back to me and Mr. David Bakhtiari's
I
argument.
saw that. 12
And
million.
me is, that thing. But just like, I get turf, you're definitely faster on and you can make different cuts on. I get that. But like, let's just do a really nice grass that football is meant to be played on. Because
It feels different.
I am significantly more sore.
Yeah.
After playing this game. And I think I played, 15 more snaps, maybe 20, 15-ish. And it's like, I shouldn't be that sore after just, 15 more plays.
Yeah.
And, and that's just the reality of it. There's just certain surfaces that just are brutal.
Yeah. So just the week in and week out grind, with the
Mhm.
addition of the extra 17th game plus the extra playoff game. So it's a 21 game run to the Super Bowl. And it's a lot. So anyway, I just, my shout out, and this is a free plug just to players. I mean, if you really
Shout out players.
Shout
I'm
out
just-
players.
the game is really hard. I mean, as far from a physical standpoint, to show up every week, in that kind of season for 21 games and to do that, even with one bye week, and I'm all for you. Like, I agree, we need 2 bye weeks. But anyway, that's another story. So anyway,
Let's give everybody 2 bye weeks. Let's just quick discussion. Like, think about it. If you just add one more bye week, your season right now is 18 weeks because there's 17 games and every team gets a bye. So it's 18 weeks. If you just threw one more bye week in there, this season's now 19 weeks. That means more TV, more advertisements, more
Right.
marketing, more money for everybody. So, throw in an extra bye. Like, and I also think that they need to bring back the COVID IR, not COVID, don't bring back COVID, but the IR rules for COVID, which is you could put guys on it and then you could take as many guys off of IR as you could. And I know like some teams might abuse that or something, but there has to be a way to get kind of back to that structure because
so it's easier to get guys on and
just,
off
yeah.
for a couple weeks.
I mean, there's a series of there's multiple injuries this year to like very talented players already. And I don't know how many guys you can take off IR. I know it used to be like 1 or 2, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was brutal. But I don't know. I thought that was a really cool thing. Just you can put guys on for a couple weeks, sign somebody new, and then get them back off so they can help your team. Because I remember in 2019, we were like out of designated returns for our IR, and DJ Jones, we had to put him on IR for a ankle sprain, like not the end of the season, but later in the season. And we didn't have any designations to bring back. And he was healthy by the end of the season, like 100% healthy, but we couldn't bring him back for any of the late games or the playoff run. And he's one of our best players on the defensive line.
Right.
And so just like that would have been helpful to have him.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it.
A little bit more flexibility for the teams that
Also
way.
just great vibes. Love that dude. DJ.
So anyway, okay. So shout there to player. Okay, Em, question now. You got something else? Is there another one or is that
I
it?
do. I got another one. How many do you want? I got like 4.
We can okay. I'm gonna rapid fire answer these because
Okay.
We gotta go.
I need to be logged off within like 5 minutes.
Check. All right. If you could change one thing about your job, what would it be and why? Same question by Geraldine.
I have to go to one thing I would change about my job, Like something that I could change, like physically I
Anything.
could do it right now and change it, or like
Nope.
I could snap my fingers and make a wish.
Yes.
Make a wish.
Wish.
Add
a bye week.
Add a bye week. All turf
I would
field or
say
all grass fields.
I would say no injuries.
That would be
Just
nice.
eliminate those. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh man.
Just for everybody. And dude, I saw that Nick Chubb thing last night. Like that's just awful. Oh, feels so bad for him. Ugh, sucks so bad.
Okay, so grass
But he'll
fields
be
and
okay.
bye week.
Yeah.
How do you motivate yourself when it's not a great day for the team? Or example, if you are losing, how do you rally the boys?
How do I? Well, I'm always positive no matter what's really going on in my life. Because each day is a blessing that you get to wake up and you get to spend it with people. And I'm very lucky that I get to play football. So it's kind of hard for me, even if like I've had, what was it? It was like my rookie year. I could not catch a ball in practice. Literally every single ball that they threw to me, I could not fucking catch it. And so just like every day I'd go in, I was just like the only thing on my mind, and especially when you start thinking about stuff like that, then you really suck.
It's awful.
And so, but I would always go in with like a positive mindset, like, well, you know what, today's another opportunity to not, to get better. And, I'm going to make a play and it's going to get me out of this little funk I'm in. And it's just an opportunity. And, I just have always tried to, no matter what is going wrong, I'm going to try to find something right. And I can maybe put a little spin on it and change the whole mood of the day. Right. What was the other part of that question?
Or like if you're losing, how do you
rally the team?
Yeah.
I don't think it's very hard to motivate NFL football players. I don't. Like people will talk about they're spoiled brats and stuff like that. I think a high majority of the guys in the NFL really want to win a Super Bowl, and it's very easy to get motivated, especially when you're on a good talented team with guys like vets who really want to win. It inspires all the young guys, and it just kind of sets the culture. Like every team that I've been on has been very motivated to come to work and play. And like guys show that differently, like, how guys show up or their attitude, their mindset every day. But like, just like me and Trent Williams don't do the same thing every day. There's a lot of things we do differently, but we still both show up with a fire to win. And if you share that in common with a bunch of football players, it's not very hard to get motivated.
Let's go.
And I'll just add, I don't know if you think I'm off, but
you have 2 minutes.
Okay. I just think, they're professionals. They're getting paid to do it. It's their job.
It's my job.
Yeah.
And if they don't do it very well, and if they dive, people get cut. So
yes.
I'm just going to say,
what have you done recently for me, League?
So guys go out and they're fighting for their job and they are fighting to win.
Scratch and claw.
Yeah, they're professional. Okay, Em,
last question by Bella. What is your favorite thing about either Claire or being a Niner or both?
My favorite thing about Claire is that never have I once ever had to question her love for me.
She
Not
fierce.
once. It is incredible. Oh, thanks, Mom.
She is a mama bear. There is no doubt.
She just got here. She just
Hey,
walked
Mom.
in. Perfect timing. But she shows me that every single day, and every night before we go to bed, we had to say goodnight, I love you. We always end anything on good terms. And she just always shows affection for me. And like every time I get home from work, she opens the door so our Deanie can come out. She always welcomes me at the door. Or if she doesn't see me come home, she always runs up and gives me a big hug. And she's just so happy that I'm home. And when you come home to that, it's very difficult to ever really not be ecstatic. And great segue. That's what gives me hope is my wife's love for me.
Hey,
good job, Claire.
We love
good job,
love.
Hidden Pearls podcast.
We love love.
We do love love.
Everybody love everybody.
Oh, that's really good.
All right,
And,
Bruce, do you have a final quote? Mom, hi. Mom, what's giving you hope this week, Mom? Give her the mic, George.
What's one of your rules?
Oh, perfect.
My rule,
Give her the mic.
One of Jan's rules.
do not text and drive.
What rule number is that?
So-
1.
777.
Ooh, that's rule number 1.
Ooh,
That's 1.
I was going to say 73 when it came out because there was about 100 before people started having
didn't
phones.
you have
Here,
Jan's
guys,
rules
smile.
before
Mom,
their
smile
phones?
while you're on. Ready? Okay, cute.
Claire's
Okay.
here.
Oh my
Claire,
God!
come on.
Claire! Cody, come here.
Claire's in on the show. The quote for the week is You have to give up.
Told you
Cody,
guys.
get
He's
Cody
coming.
here.
He's coming. He's coming.
You have to give up who you are in order to finally become who you should be.
Smile.
Cody, Cody, Cody. All
Yay,
right.
baseball.
I love our love. I love our love.
All right. Well,
Woo.
thank you for joining us on this Hidden Pearls podcast. We appreciate it. George, love you. Good luck with the Giants. We will all be there. Claire, great to have you in here. We're going to do a wine review here one of these days.
One of these
Jan,
days.
thank you very much for the reminder. And Cody and Emmy, we love both of you very much. Can't wait to have you back in the States. And so that should be super excited.